We got to just do the thing where we start the show. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another terrible podcast by Comics. I am Eerie Diamond, your host, and I'm very excited to introduce Aivy Cordova and K. Cheng. What? All right, let's do this thing. Yes. I miss Aivy very much. I miss K. Cheng. K. Cheng is dope.
Thank you.
And by the way, I did make fun of him earlier because he couldn't read I sent them the agenda written down and he couldn't read it. And I was like, well, you kids can't read cursive. So that is 100% true. Did you guys know that?
Kids can't read cursive?
Children can't read cursive. Did you know that? They are not teaching that in high school, in school anymore. And there's no more like line, ... line anymore so that they can, I had no idea. Were you aware of that, Kay? I know you told me not to ask you your age, but I know you are you are young-ish.
How old do you think I am?
Well, you're Asian, so it's tough. You know what I mean? It's like it's tough. You don't age.
Ivy, how old do you think I am?
I'm gonna say something. This is gonna sound so terrible, but I find that a lot of Asian people look super young forever, and then one day they wake up and they're like 100 years old. And I don't understand that. I don't understand it. I don't know why that's how age works for you guys.
I've seen that meme. It is 1,000% accurate.
It's bizarre.
It's called the Asian cliff.
It's so bizarre, right?
I'm very close to that cliff.
It's like you're walking on the ocean and then you just end up in, you know what I mean? There's just,
yeah.
And then you drown. Kay, to answer your question, honestly, if you were older than 45, I'd be surprised.
Me?
Okay.
Kay. Oh, Kay's not.
Kay.
No, Kay's like 20. He's 20 something. Kay, you're 20 something.
Okay, here's how old that I am. I'm old enough. I know what the save file is. Like I know what that's in reference to.
Stop.
I have had a Blockbuster card in my name before.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. I am old enough that I refer to Elizabeth Olsen as Mary Kay and Ashley Olsen's sister.
I did that too.
Ashley Olsen as Elizabeth Olsen's sister. So that's how old I am.
Wow, you are much older than you look.
I'm wearing a hat,
Ivy,
so.
it's disturbing how young you guys look. It actually is. That is the dopest way to figure out how old somebody is. I love that. Like that's like a carnival trick when you're just like, this is how old. If you want to know how old I am, this is how old I am. And then you just throw out a scenario, like a word problem. I love that.
I've just been lying upwards. Like there's some people that I've literally told them at shows that I was 50.
Don't lie, I'm 50. Okay. Yeah, don't make fun of that. I actually am 50.
Dude,
it's okay.
This is an awesome age.
Let's talk about like a little bit about you guys. Kay, you were already kind of talking about it. Tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're from and all that stuff and the world.
Hi. I'm Kay. I'm 35. And
really? You're 35?
35. Yes, I'm
35. Dude,
35.
I would have said 26 all day long. That's amazing. Okay, I'm really
35.
impressed.
I am pushing 36. I'll be 36.
Oh God, you're so old.
I guess that, Kay, because my oldest nephew will be 35 next month.
Oh wow! Happy birthday to your eldest nephew.
So yeah, I figured he was nephew age. So
yeah, that's about right. I'm everybody's nephew. What else do you want to know about me? I'm from Texas.
Just do your best joke, which is my favorite joke.
What's my best joke? I don't have that many good jokes.
You have a lot of great jokes, but my favorite joke of yours is your name.
Oh, hi. My name is Katia.
Yeah.
My name is Katia. I go by Kay. I'm from Irving, Texas. Oh shit! I forgot my joke. I'm sorry. I didn't know I was doing stand-up today. I am from Texas. That's right. My parents had a Chinese boy, gave him a black girl's name, and raised around a bunch of white people. So I am racially confused. And I'm actually Cambodian, so I just Chinese for this.
Kidding me? Really?
Yes.
Oh my
I am
God,
Cambodian.
you're Cambodian?
I am.
Dude,
Yes.
Cambodian people are like the toughest people on earth. Did you know that? You could like
I would. I mean, if that's a stereotype, I am.
no. Well, okay,
Downplaying.
well, the people I know from Cambodia are like the fucking I know someone who was actually a guard in the Khmer Rouge.
God damn.
He is a fucking he's very old. He's very old. And he is Uncle Sam, man. He's the
I
best.
am
He's
the
the
softest
fucking-
person I know.
Well, you are I'm
with
so
a Coke
sorry.
bottle.
Kay, you are so American. I'm so sorry. That was all ruined. Everything's been ruined. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. All the badass has just been taken right out of you. I'm
I
so sorry
know.
about that.
It's all good.
Like most Americans, we just got all fucked up. I'm so sorry. No, but you're awesome. And you are a comedian, and
Yes,
you
I'm
are
a comedian.
also you love cosplay.
I do. Those are my two favorite things: is comedy and cosplay. And I sometimes do a show called Cosplay Comedy, which is very creatively named. That's the name of the show. Yes.
Which is amazing. Tell us what that is. Tell us what that is.
Oh, sure. It is a show where we dress up in cosplay and we do sets in character and stand up. It's pretty much just the show. We do it at different comic book and anime conventions, and during the pandemic, we did a few shows online too, over the Zooms. So, yes, I have a very well. I'm in my office right now, but in my bedroom, I have a very extensive cosplay collection that I would normally show you. But I don't want to nerd out too hard here.
I was on the show. I played Raggedy Andy.
You played Raggedy Andy. I got you twice. I took you to a comic book convention. Was that your first comic book convention ever?
No, honestly, I got it. Well, I have to tell you something. I used to do this thing called the Eerie Show, which I would actually go to festivals and stuff and interview people. And so I have done a couple of Comic Cons and stuff where I just went around and interviewed people. You can see it on YouTube, just Eerie Show, and made fun of people. Not made fun of people, but it was fun. It was fun. The great thing about that was the Eerie Show was I would interview people, but I would interview them as if they were actually their character. So it was awesome because it was like, it was awesome. But that's why I love your show. Your show is so great because it's like, and you would even be like, okay, be this character, try writing jokes like, don't just go up there. You actually have to be this person, which was awesome. Which characters have you been on your show?
Okay, let's see. I've been Mario, Ryu, Goku, Trunks, Sub-Zero, Bruce Lee, Ash Ketchum. So I think
You were Bruce Lee?
Yes. That's the only time when I first started comedy, I'm like, I am never gonna do an accent. And then I was Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee has an accent, so I had to do an accent.
Did you do this?
Oh no, I didn't do that. Well, I probably
What
did.
the fuck? You can't be Bruce Lee and not do this. Are you kidding? Grimes and I, when we first started dating, can I tell you when I fell in love with Grimes?
Grimes!
When we first started dating, we jokingly did this like, what? You want to fight me? Like this fake Bruce Lee thing. And at the same fucking time, we went like this. And then we went like this. And we both were like, oh my God. And then like little bubbles of like hearts came out of like our head. We were just like, wait a minute. Wait, what? Like, Bruce, you're a Bruce Lee fan? I'm a Bruce Lee fan. It's on. Like, it was insane. Yeah, it was insane.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
It's so romantic.
It actually, yeah, and strangely, we don't do normal romantic things. So yes.
Were you at a romance? Were you like in a Bruce Lee setting, like a martial arts tournament?
No, we were just joking around, and it was like this whole like, like we did the whole fake. Yeah, it was, it was anyway. It was stupid. Ivy, tell us a little bit about yourself, love.
Where do I start?
I love this like noir movie lighting, by the way, and you look gorgeous. Your hair is like, what is happening right now?
I'm actually in a workspace. Let me see if I can unblur my background so I can show you what I'm actually up to, because it's so fucking noisy where I live, because I'm still quarantined with my parents. So I am in a little office here. out in Oakland, actually. It's not far from where my sister lives, and it's also not very far from two of my favorite places, Homeroom and Copper Spoon, which I perform at. I try to get sets there like several times a month. And yeah, so this is where I'm situated. And so a little bit about me. I grew up in Hayward, California. I was born in Manila. And before doing stand-up, I was a theater kid.
Am I supposed to be surprised? Are we supposed to be surprised? You went like this, like waiting for like a, like, no.
No, it was just, you guys got super quiet all of a sudden. So I assumed that like, I assumed that my computer froze or something. I was like, all right, let me make this talk.
So you were born in Manila. And then how old were you when you came here? 2?
Yeah, well, almost 2, because I know my second birthday was actually at a Burger King in North Carolina. Yeah. So like I had my second birthday in America, and then because we lived in Chicago first, North Carolina, and then we moved to California.
Wait, you remember your second birthday?
I have pictures. Like I don't remember it per se, but like
okay.
there's a picture of me in a Burger King crown, and I actually recreated it. Was it last year? I recreated it last year. I did a side-by-side where I put on a crown, I was holding a balloon, like that kind of stuff. And I like, because I'm the oldest, so my mom has a ton of baby pictures of me. And lately what I've been doing is I've been using like pictures from my childhood, or pictures of my dad back when he used to smoke. I used to use all those pictures for my show flyers. So like, you guys know that where I have that list of shows that I do, whatever. A lot of those, sometimes it's baby pictures.
Oh my God. So good. Yes. How many people are in your family?
So I'm the oldest. There's me and my younger sister, and then my mom and my dad. As far as immediate family goes, we're really small, but like with my family as a whole, we're fucking huge, because my dad is the youngest of 14 original siblings. And he's like 70. And so like his oldest brother, who has since passed, I forgot how far apart they are in age, but he was like 90 something when he died. And this fool still had like children that are like in their 20s. So yeah, Cordovas are fertile as fuck. And then my mom's side, she's like the 4th of like 11. So I have a ton of cousins. So yeah, so family, we haven't had any family reunions just because we don't know any island that's big enough to hold all of us. But like, yeah, like my immediate family is very, well, Jacob, of course. There's Jacob, my son, who lives with me. I'm a single parent. I shouldn't say single parent, because his dad is like super present, but I am single as in I do not have a partner in my house with me presently. So it's basically 5 of us, like me, my sister, mom, dad, Jake. My sister's married, and so she lives in Oakland.
I by the way, I love the story of why you're living with your parents. It was like you had your own place. I mean, I could let you, but I love it. It was like, wait, she had her own place. Let me see if I got this right. You had your own place. Everything was cool. You and Jake are rocking your place. And then your parents go, we're going to go move back. We're going to move back to the Philippines because your dad got a job, right? Am I right here?
Yeah.
He got a job back in the Philippines. He's like, I'm moving back. You know what, girl? You take the house. And you were like, dope. Like, I don't have to live in an apartment. This is dope. Yay. And then quarantine happens. And they're like, oh, well, we're not going. We're gonna wait, or they came back. No, did they come back?
That's mostly accurate. That's mostly accurate.
Okay, that's the part where I lost it.
So me and my son we had our own place. We were living in a gated community, not too far from my son's school. But I was coming up on like about 5 years living there, and when I first moved in, it was about 2,200. And it was about to be bumped up to like 35. I was like, bro, this sucks. Yeah. And my dad actually retired from his white people job. And I thought he was done. I thought he was like straight up done, but he's been a workaholic my whole life. So we were sitting at his retirement dinner that his company put on for him. And me and my mom were looking at each other like, he's not going to retire. And sure enough, he took a job in Asia like a few months later. So that's why they moved. And so I ended up taking over the house. And so like, because nobody was there. And so it was nice. Like I moved in like November or something, or November of, I want to say 2019. ish maybe. And so I moved into that house, and then they were actually here for a visit. They had come back in like, I think January for Jacob's birthday, and they were supposed to go back in March of last year. And then everybody's flights got canceled, because what we were originally going to do was, they were going back to the Philippines, and then me and Jacob, we were going to take like an entire month off, because he had been missing Japan, because I took him to Japan when he was like 8. I took him with me on a business trip, and it was a business trip. So I expensed like half the shit that I ate, which is great, because the last time I went to Japan, I couldn't afford to eat like that. So it was nice to show, my son, my favorite spots in Japan, because my sister used to be a teacher there. So I visited more than once. And then, we were supposed to go like on a trip to like Asia. We're going to do Japan, Korea, Thailand, because we got family there. And then of course the Philippines. And then all of that went to shit. And then, they've been with me. They're still with me. Like, they're at the house. Like, this is why I got a workspace, so that I could do stuff like this without people in the background, because, obviously, we have doors and stuff like that, but they're so loud. I mean, if you guys think I'm loud, be around my parents for 5 minutes. Like, every time I do a Zoom, somebody's always like, Ivy, are you doing this from a party? I'm like, no, that's 2 Filipinos talking in the living room. So that's why I'm here in this office in Oakland, where it's nice and quiet and fairly ungentrified.
Janine wanted to know what the white people job was. What is a white person job? I might have that. I'm white. I might have that actually.
Yeah. So by trade, my dad's an engineer, but he basically made his entire career was spent designing the training curriculum for biotech companies. So and before that, he was at like Sun. I think Sun Microsystems was his first big job, and then he went to biotech, and then now he manages a hospital.
Wow.
Yeah. So the hospital is the non-white people job. The hospital is in Asia. The white people job was
over accomplished.
Dude, I'm the dumbest person in my family, and I'm in law school. Like, I'm just.
Dude,
yeah.
what is that?
I feel like there's way whiter jobs out there. That's not that white of a job.
Yeah.
He worked in Concord.
Okay,
that's pretty fucking
white.
What is the whitest job you can think of, Kay?
I don't know. Selling artisan trail mix or something.
Oh my God.
It's pretty white.
Organic toilet paper.
Yeah.
Artisans.
That was good.
Yeah, there's way whiter jobs out there.
Yeah.
Jogging in the snow, that's probably like a real profession, right? Like snow jogging? Yeah.
Snow jogging. Dude, snow jogging.
Running a stable.
All right,
yes.
let's Easter. Let's go on to our next topic, Easter. What do you guys, anybody Eastering? Anybody?
I didn't do shit. I've been high for like 6 hours. Like I almost never do Easter stuff anymore, because we did this a lot when we were kids. I mean, I was raised, I am a recovering Catholic. And so we were raised Catholic, and every Easter, honestly, like, I would just let Jake go with his dad's family on Easter, because they have hella kids on that side of the family. Like my son's father and stepmom, they both have a lot of like relatives in the Bay Area that all have like kids around Jacob's age. So, it was always just easier for him to go over there, because on my side of the family, at least with the Cordovas in America, there's like literally, like, I'm the only person in California that has a child. Like, whenever we have family gatherings for Christmas, we all take pictures like, okay, the girl cousins, the guy cousins, the grandchildren, and it's Jacob and like 4 dogs. So yeah, so Easter, I didn't do shit. This is probably the highlight of my day. After this, I'm gonna go. Apparently, there's a Benihana food truck in Oakland, so I ordered some dinner for pickup after this. So we'll see. Hopefully, it doesn't suck. I don't know if it's affiliated, but that's gonna be my.
I'm sorry. Why would you have a Benihana? The only reason to go to Benihana is the show. Like,
for sure. But sometimes I like, a little shrimp and steak, and I'm really curious just to see, because I wonder if I peek inside, like, if the food truck has windows, I don't know, like maybe I can peek inside, and maybe they're doing it like inside the food truck or something.
Interesting.
I'm just so curious, like, just the fact that shit exists, bro. Like, wow.
No, that is that the fact that there's such a sentence like Benihana food truck, that's that exists. Kay, how about Easter? You fuck with Easter? What's going on?
I'm sorry, I have nothing on this topic. I've never celebrated Easter.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Texas? There was no Easter egg
Christian.
hunt in Texas when you were a little kid, or nothing?
I think one time my parents dyed some eggs and put them in the backyard, and they're like, all right, go find them. And they weren't even like Easter eggs. They were just hard-boiled eggs that they dipped in food dye and said, go for it if you want to celebrate Easter. But I never had a inclination to celebrate it. I ate half a chocolate bunny last night. That's the closest thing I've done to celebrating Easter in my 35 years of existence.
35 years. I've only ever, like, not to mention when I was younger, I only went to one like legit Easter egg hunt, and it was like in some park in Hayward, and then it abruptly ended because somebody found a bag of heroin. So that's ever since then, I'm just like, you know what? Church or backyard. Like we don't do public Easter events anymore.
Fucking Hayward, man. What is with fucking Hayward?
I don't know, but I'm always proud to rep Hayward.
People make fun of Oakland. I've lived in Oakland for so long, and people make fun of Oakland, but fucking Hayward is ridiculous. Oh my God. Deneen said, can you imagine finding a human finger? No, Deneen, that's not right. Why did you put that? That's crazy.
But she said Hayward. I was born in Oakland. I grew up in Hayward.
Are you kidding? You can find a human finger?
No, but it could happen in Hayward.
God.
Sounds plausible.
Nothing surprises me anymore. Really.
Oh my God. All right. Well, next topic. Want to talk about being Asian right now? Kay, you want to talk about being Asian right now?
Sure. I am Asian right now, and I have been Asian before. For a while now. For 35 years, actually, I've been Asian.
Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. Yeah, I know. I'm not one of those like new Asians that just picked it up recently. You know, just I'm old school being Asian. It's not for me personally. It's not. I mean, it's scary, but that's also because I'm a man, and I'm young looking and really not a target. But that doesn't go for a lot of people that are Asian. Like, for instance, my parents. I'm like really terrified every day of my parents, and they're still back in Texas, so I can't watch them. And my dad in particular can't stay at home, so he's always, even like before he got vaccinated, he was just like making jailbreaks and running around out in the neighborhood and stuff like that. So, but now it's like a completely new layer of danger that we have to think about. So I'm like, should we learn to use guns? Like, do I get my dad a gun? Do I get him at least like some mace or pepper spray? I don't. And that's just like a big difference in a divide that, you know, I'm Asian, but I don't have to fear for my safety just because of, like, I don't have to carry a weapon because got these right here, right? Like, I'm not a target. So it's part of it.
Where in Texas do they live?
Dallas. Yes,
oh, really?
Dallas, the Palace. Yeah, I was there. Actually, just got back from there yesterday. I'm vaccinated. My parents are vaccinated, so I paid them a visit. But it's not. Dallas is very different now, and it's not like a stereotypical. A lot of Californians have stereotypes about Texas, and Dallas does not match those stereotypes in many ways.
Yeah. My dad lives like an hour out of Dallas, and so we always fly into Dallas to go see him. And
yeah. Oh, if it's an hour outside, then the stereotypes are right. But an hour inside.
but they are very like not. They're like not racist, not homophobe, any of those creepy things that you normally are. They're very woke for Texas, which is, you know, not saying much, but yeah, it's God, I can't even imagine. Like, I love that your dad was still like leaving. You're like, Dad, stop, don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we had to convince him to retire. I mean, growing up, I faced plenty of racism, and I never addressed it head on, and maybe I should have. Like, growing up, I had mostly white friends, and they would crack Asian jokes, and I would crack white jokes back at them, and it was all fine and dandy, and you know, they still love and care about me. And then one time we went out to eat, and the waitress cracked some Asian jokes, And I was like, well, I was offended. I was like, I'm not going to tip her. But then they all got mad at me. They're like, no, you have to tip your waiter, even no matter how bad of the service they is. And at that moment, that was like a turning point for me. I was like, okay, well, they can empathize with being a waiter because they've been waiters, but they're never going to empathize with being Asian or being a minority.
Wow.
And they love and they care about me, and they'll defend me in a fight. Like if I'm being attacked or as a hate crime is happening to me, I know they'll like lay their life on the line for me, and they care about me. But there's just this little bit of misunderstanding that I don't know if it's my fault for not addressing early on or in that moment because I was young and I really didn't know how to articulate things, is, you know, how incredibly articulate I am right now. But that is the divide right there. It's not like blatant Mississippi burning crosses kind of racism. It's just something, just a little bit of thinking of the way you see things. That's the actual divide.
Wow.
Which leads to a lot of worse things. So.
Wow. So I want to tell you a little story about Ivy and I went to Fort Bragg. We carpooled to Fort Bragg, and we're driving where we were doing a show, and we were driving in Fort Bragg, and it was really weird because it was night and it was dark, and I was like, I'm a little freaked out. I'm so glad you're with me. And she was like, yeah, I'm really glad I got a white person with me. And I said, I don't even know what are you talking about? Like, I don't understand, because I'm so goddamn naive. And she was like, dude, you don't really. I'm like, no, but we're both women. She's like, nah, bitch, we're in the middle of nowhere and there's rednecks. And I'm really glad there's a white person here. And I'm like, are you, what, huh? And I had no clue what she was talking about. I mean, I did, but I didn't even notice until she said it, that I was like, shit, I didn't even think of that. Like, you know.
Yeah, there's certain parts, even living in some place as diverse as Northern California.
Oh, Ivy froze.
Oh, she froze. Look at that beautiful photo. Okay. Sorry, you froze for a second. I'm sorry.
Shit.
Living in Northern California, that was the last thing you said.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, like it's pretty diverse, but there's even still some pockets of Northern California that is difficult to go to looking like this. You know, it's just little tiny pockets here and there. And it's crazy because I was a very bored teenage. I'm just very I'm very like bored and curious at the same time. So one time, just out of curiosity, I looked at that website called Stormfront. You know what that is? It's it's basically a message board for fucking white supremacists. And just out of curiosity, I put in like local cities. I put in Fremont. I put in Hayward. There's fucking pockets of that shit right there. And you know, it never surprises me. You know, I've tried to just reach a point where I'm just, nothing that people can do will ever catch me off guard. But you know, it's just, if that includes also helping, you know, inform my friends that may not know about shit like this and why it scares me, you know, I take every opportunity I can to make that like sort of teachable for both of us. Because you know, you're somebody that's driving in that place unfamiliar, because we're both women, and I'm looking at it as, if my car got stopped on the road and I wasn't with you, Eerie, like, I mean, I'm not saying they'd shoot me or like drag me from a truck, but it's just stuff like that is always, it's never far from my mind.
But you never know, right?
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, that's yeah. No, and I do know, because I've I'm one of those idiots who like didn't understand that there was a lot of racism in the world until much later in my life. Because I'm like one of those people who didn't understand and was like, what are you talking about? How is that even possible? And then, you know, I marry a brown guy that I'm like, didn't even occur to me. And he's like, what? You don't have people coming up to you asking if you speak English? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? And I'm like outraged.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but then like, I shouldn't be outraged because that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. So, you know, I am one of those people who's 100% not that woke, because I had no idea. And that's the problem. So,
but you know what you got? You got Asian homegirls to help you out. You got good folks around you, and
Thank you.
you're in Oakland, so you know what I mean. It's just it's there. Like we're here to help. And I want to. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
Ivy.
Yo.
Can I say, because I grew up, my parents, my mom and dad came from Detroit, Michigan in 58 and moved here and raised us. And we were never raised seeing anything other than people.
Right.
And I mean, I understand everything going on. And I'm thinking Eerie too was like, we were lucky, we were blessed to just see, we were raised to see people as people.
Right.
I mean, I'm understanding more now.
Totally.
But I think, there's, but then a lot, it's just, sometimes I think we feel like a lot of us are being attacked, but you hear that. I mean, I understand both sides, so it's kind of a slippery slope.
Yeah.
But dude, I've fucked up so many times. Like I fuck up all the time. Like I said to somebody, I love living in Oakland because when I go to the movies, people aren't mad if I yell at the screen. And then I'm like, fuck, that's racist. Shit.
Sorry, that's funny. I'm not gonna fucking lie. That's
fucking racist. But then I'm like, but I mean, I wasn't talking about like in a racist way, but then I'm like,
cultural.
Oh, that's racist. God damn it.
Being cultural.
No, but it's but I was being racist and I didn't even realize I was being racist. I'm like, fucked up again. That's okay. Like, but
if you can acknowledge that you're like, oh, that was kind of racist, because for the most part, racism is born because people don't think that they're being racist, and so
right,
like, well,
exactly.
Nothing I can possibly do or say could be then that you don't have the opportunity to figure it out and learn.
But then it was really weird because when my grandma from Michigan, Detroit, and then did the white flight to the burbs when we were kids, come visit us, and she'd say the coloreds. I mean, I'm proud of us kids. We cringed when she would say that.
That's good.
Oh, we all got the
parent, we all got blessed being.
We all got the racist grandparents, though, right? Everyone's got.
No, they just weren't from. I think just my
Anybody
parents.
Got a racist grandparent? Anybody?
I think my parents.
Mine are all dead. So I want to, like, real quick before we go on, I do, if it's cool, I want to address Dario's question about how I talk. Like, he asked, do I talk to my son about this?
Yes.
And, I talked to him about it in bits and pieces because my son, like, he's always gone to school in a really diverse school district. As a matter of fact, it's so diverse that in his group of friends, they got a token white guy. So, like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. The majority of the people, like, it's not even something I did consciously. It's just more like, what school district do I want to raise my son in, proximity to things. And, Hayward Unified, I mean, me and my sister are both proud, we're both proud alumni of like Hayward Unified. My sister's like Ivy educated. I'm in law school currently. So, we haven't done too badly for ourselves, but like raising my son in a different neighborhood, a different district is, it was way more diverse than even I ever anticipated, because a lot of the people in my son's neighborhood and school district, their parents work in Silicon Valley. Like, so you have that kind of demographic. And so when I talk to my son about the stuff that's happening in the world, particularly as it pertains to, Black Lives Matter and the Stop Asian Hate stuff, I ask him, like, how aware are you of the things that are happening? And he's 13, so he sees the news and he understands a little bit of what's going on. And sometimes he'll ask me about a video on TikTok for like context and things like that. And I think he understands that people, not everybody is raised with parents that'll talk to them about this kind of stuff. And when he encounters things like, subtle, like racism in the world, whether it's subtle or more something in your face, the one thing that I'm trying to instill in him is to always be prepared. Like, don't be surprised. Like, because one of my biggest pet peeves is always like, I can't believe there's still racism in this day and age. And to quote Chris Rock, I'm like, where the fuck have you been? Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
So these are little things too that I like to, I just check in with him. Like, you okay? You're doing well in school, because he goes back and forth between me and his father. And, I'm just like, are you doing well? Has anybody harassed you lately? Like, just little things like that. I try to sneak it into the conversation. And, so far, I think he has a pretty good understanding of what's happening and how to deal with it. And, Yeah, I think that's where we're at with it so far. I mean, he's a teenager, so I try not to sugarcoat anything because he's also really fucking smart, and I know he sees right through my bullshit because I essentially gave birth to myself. So that's where that's where we're at with talking to kids about this stuff. It's really important for them to understand because it's just it's such a privilege, and I don't say this in a demeaning way whatsoever. It's such a privilege to be raised to not have to think about race. You know what I mean? For it to for acknowledgement of race to not have to inform all the decisions you make about where to live, what to study, what kind of topics to bring up, even fucking who to fuck, just like little things like that, which the fucking part I'll get to in a second. But like, there's it's something that just fucking permeates like every little thing that just every part of my day, and it's just always been like that. I don't remember a time in my life where I never really had to think about race because I knew to some degree like whatever this is, it's not white. I remember one time I was filling out I was filling out some sort of survey, and they're just like, okay, white, black, Pacific Islander, or other. And I'm like, okay, well, I know I was born on an island, but I don't fucking live there. So what do I just little like things like that? And it's one of those things that you pick up when you're raised by immigrants. I mean, I know it's not a particularly it's not the same experience that everybody has because like I know a lot of my friends that are people of color were also raised by other people of color that are not immigrants because they're like second generation Americans, so maybe they don't see the impact in the way that somebody like me that's directly exposed to immigrants would see it. So
yeah. Sorry,
I know that was a lot.
No, that was like crazy. Kay, when you were being brought up, did your parents ever talk to you about like racism or like you're going to encounter that or anything? Is that why you had that experience where you were just like, sure, make an Asian joke, dick, whatever, I'm just going to be cool? Like, is that
I don't know if it was something growing up, but if they did, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But I would say that when I was getting older, like around college age, they're like, you might, they're talking about mostly about my career, and like you might not get promotions or you might not get the job because of your Asian.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I would say, and I don't think okay, so my name is Katia Cheng, and my last name is spelled Chheng, 2 H's. And then I always struggled with unemployment and underemployment, and I don't know why. Like I'm educated, I had lots of experience, and then about 2 years ago, against everybody's advice, I just changed it to K Cheng, like how you see here in the Zoom and on Facebook and everything. And then like I got a job. I was unemployed at the time. I got a job in like a month.
Wow.
Then I got a new job 6 months later, and now today I'm like still getting hit up by recruiters and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's because my first name looks like a black woman's name, so maybe I faced racism there, or because my last name looked like a typo. Either way,
I don't mean to laugh. That's my favorite joke of yours. Like,
oh, thank you. It's my go-to.
They made me a black girl's name, and they raised me in Texas. So like,
so if I did face racial discrimination, it's my parents' fault for giving me that name.
Yeah, fuck those parents. They did that.
They told me like you're gonna face this, and then they didn't tell me they're the reason why they gave me this name, dog.
My God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't. I was gonna tell a story, but I'm not gonna do that anymore.
I want to hear the story. Let's hear the story.
I was actually raised. I actually thought I was half Mexican my whole life, and no, it's 100. You know that it's 100% true. It's my mom told me I was raised by a Mexican guy, and so I would go into the Mexican restaurant and be like, oh, hola, like thinking like I'm half Mexican. They'd be like, this white bitch is trying to be, and it was just sad. And and then I found out later on from ancestry.com that I wasn't Mexican at all. I am not. My dad is the whitest white person ever, and he's awesome, but I was just living a lie my whole life. It's the opposite of what you guys do. It's like if you found out you were actually super white, but it was me trying to be like, I'm so ethnic, bitches. And then No, it wasn't true. It was 100% not true. And yeah, so
Should we try ancestry.com? Like, is it something you recommend?
you
Is it fun?
you could try it. It may make you mad at your mom, though. I'm just letting you know. You might be super angry later.
To touch on the job thing though, Kay, because my parents also told me something similar because before he transitioned into biotech, my dad was just in Silicon Valley for like 20, 30 years. And he straight up told me and my sister, look, you guys are gonna have difficulties because one, you're women, two, you're Asian.
Wow.
And both of us, like the line of work that we were going into, because our father worked in tech, and me and my sister never aspired to go into tech, but when you're raised with parents that work in tech and then you go into something like fucking journalism and then a nonprofit, you're like, okay, well, I need to go back and figure out how to get a tech job because I want things like health insurance. And so and my dad was always like the one brown guy that was usually like executive wise, he was like usually the one brown guy in a wall of like all white dudes. So he coached both of us through our careers and how to navigate racism and sexism. And he sat us both down right after college, and he pointed at both of us. He was just like, okay, I need to teach you guys how to navigate this new life, because he pointed at my sister, we don't want you to get walked over, and he pointed at me, and Ivy, we don't want you to get arrested. So like, he knew that both of his children are on opposite ends of the like on the spectrum as far as like our temperament. So I know a lot of why I haven't, why I've had a successful tech career for 16 years without punching out any people, minimal harassment, because my dad taught me how to conduct myself in that environment, which, just sort of like think like a man, but look like this.
I'm actually super surprised you've never punched anybody out.
Like at my workplace, comics, workplace is a totally different story.
That's actually my next question. So are you living in LA or are you not living in LA?
No, I've never lived in LA.
You go back and forth, or?
I go back and forth a lot because I have family technically in Orange County. And then probably like when I started going, when I returned to comedy, because I don't know if you know this part of my comedy trajectory, but I started in 2006. I stopped like around 2009, 2010, because I wasn't getting anywhere. I just, maybe this is not for me. I'm going to focus on raising my child, get my shit together, that kind of stuff. And then 2016 came around and I was just like, you know what? Like my marriage is falling apart and I don't care. I want to go back to comedy. And so because I didn't have the balls to try to do open mics in the Bay Area again, I actually started in LA first. Like my job at the time sent me down there a lot for business. So what I would do is I would hit like random mics, and then I was also doing improv at UCB. I took the intensive course, so I would have something to do there, in the evenings when I wasn't working or anything like that. So, but yeah, like ever since then, because I was getting work in both LA and the Bay, it just made more sense to me to go back and forth, because at the time I didn't have enough work in LA to justify leaving the Bay. And even though now I'm down there often enough that I would rather just honestly stay in the Bay. Like there's a lot of things I like about LA, but there's way more things I like about living in the Bay. And if I'm in a position where I can go back and forth like indefinitely, cool.
Yeah.
I was that part of the agenda? Because I saw that in like living in LA. I was like, did Kay move to LA and not tell me?
No.
I thought it was beautiful. I was like, what?
No. I think Kay still lives here.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about comedy coming back? I'm getting more shows now. Kay, are you getting more shows? Are you you're not getting more shows.
By the way, if anybody's listening, I'm fully vaccinated. You can book me. I won't kill you.
Okay, we'll go like where are you based now?
San Leandro.
And, you're fucking next door. We'll go to some shit together. I'll get you up. So,
I'll get you booked, man. I'll get you booked.
Honestly, I'm okay if the whole pandemic thing. It's made me like really the rat race with comedy and the climb to the top. It just, when it all went away in an instant, it just really reframed everything. So I'm not chasing the stage time anymore. And I'm definitely not going to produce any shows because I'm so much less stressed that I'm not producing. So I'm just chilling.
I have to say that when the pandemic first happened, I was like, it sounds terrible. I was really happy. I was like, cool. I'm just gonna take a break because it was like crazy. Like, you know, Ivy, you know, you guys both know you work your 40 hours or whatever, and then you rush off and you do your shows, and then it's exhausting. But it's thrilling and it's amazing, but it's also exhausting. And it was like, I was really happy. I'm like, fucking yeah, woo! Like I was producing like four shows a month.
You were doing a lot, dude.
I was doing a lot, and it was crazy. And then I was like, yay! And then I was like, and then after like a couple of months, I was like, you know, then when you finally do stand up, you're like, this rocks. Like it's just, and you miss it so much, you know. But there is this weird thing where you're like, I'm kind of happy I'm not doing it, but but when you do it, you're so like, dude, I did live show last weekend, 2 shows, and I was like the most amped I have been. It was like I was on coke. I was like, like my friends came to see the second show, and I'm like, this is the best thing ever. Yeah, like parklit outdoors, and I was at it was Milk Bar, and I was like, woo, was it fucking awesome? I'm walking around to the audience afterward, just like going to sit with my friends, just like, wasn't that awesome? Don't you guys love that? And they're like, what the hell is wrong with her? Like she's on drugs or something. It was just, but it's just that fucking high is insane. When you're like, oh, I'm good. And then you do it and you're just like, oh, like, totally. It's just such a drug, man. It's insane. You know,
what's gone is, or at least for me, is that, damn, that was a shitty room kind of feeling, because now you're like, any room, you know? So,
yeah.
3
oh my god. Okay, I gotta tell you. So you guys all know me and Dave, right? So we went to a mic because we were supposed to go to some place in I think this is Andrew DeLeon's new room, and it got canceled for the night. So out of pure boredom and just desire to leave the house, we decided to hit up I'm not gonna say which room this was because I really like the guy and I respect him, but it involves the way that you enter a room. And so anyway, I love the guy. I love him. I love his, he's a great guy. I respect him. But the second me and Dave got there, like, I remember looking around like, I don't fucking belong here. And then we were early up because we wanted to catch tacos before they closed. And so there was, I forgot how shitty bar regular drunks are and just how awful they, so there was a dude that was there and he didn't interrupt the first guy. He didn't interrupt the second guy. He didn't interrupt me and Dave. He yelled out Poison Ivy during my set. And right away I was like, okay, who the fuck just said that? And then instead of finishing my set, I spent about 5 minutes cussing him out. And then I told a joke, and I think people were afraid to laugh because they're like, are we allowed to laugh? Like, she'll kill me. And I was like, you're right.
I don't know. I don't understand.
I did not miss that feeling at all.
I don't understand why people don't have a better radar as far as like who you should heckle and who you shouldn't. Like, don't heckle Ivy. Don't heckle Chelsea. Don't, like, there are just people you just don't heckle. You know what I mean? Don't heckle me. I will
kill you.
Like, we will kill you. We are going to take out everything on you. And it's just, that's bad on them.
I literally was like, did I just leave the house and drive all the way from Hayward and leave my child, which I didn't leave my child because he was at his dad's house, but did I leave my house and my cat to go get heckled by some drunk piece of shit? Like, get some water, hydrate, and reconsider your life choices, sir. That's what I said.
I like the nickname Poison Ivy, though. I think you should keep that.
I should make like Poison by Bell. That actually was my walk-up music at one point. I was like, never trust a big bunny smile. But then
did it feel good, Ivy?
It
did
felt
you stress them out for five minutes?
The one thing, yeah, exactly. The one thing I have noticed about myself during this pandemic is that I am, I used to be really, really like under the radar about this. I'm just like, don't show emotion, just be cool, whatever. Now I'm just like, no, I will beat your ass
Yeah.
Like I'll beat your ass. Like it's coming out. I'm just like, you think I have a tech job because I enjoy it? I have a tech job because it's bail money, bitch. Let's go.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. I hope you put that in your set tomorrow. Okay. Ivy, you always work a lot too. I think that's amazing. I just recently got enough shows where I'm actually like going to put one of those like things up where you're like, here's all the dates I'm going to be doing.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Just recently. No. Before it was like, well, I got 5 shows in a month. I don't think that's enough. Like, but you're like, bam, bam, bam. You're working all over the place. And I think that's amazing. Slinging those dick jokes all over the place. Any questions? Anybody have questions? Yes, Eerie, I keep seeing your name pop up. Oh, thank you, Deneen. You're a sweetie. Anybody got any questions? Jason, you got any questions for us? No, you're good. You're good. That is the most beautiful mantle I've ever seen. Is that a cleaning bottle up there?
Is that Febreze?
What is that? What's happening? Is that
fucking Febreze? I know my cleaning and house products.
There's a person over there, right? I keep seeing like a shadowed thing on the corner there, and it's at first I thought it was a ghost, and then I was
like that thing that's next to him. Oh, Gary.
Oh, wait, it's Gary. Oh, hi, Gary. You can come closer. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's what it was. It was like a shoulder. I was like, what? That looks so weird. I thought it was your shoulder. That's why it was weird. I thought it was like some hooded figure in the corner, but it was actually your shoulder. Hi, Gary. Any questions from the audience? No, everybody? No, good. It's okay. Kay, would you, I do hope that when everything lets up that you do restart your show, because your cosplay show is so hilarious. It really was.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Do you think you might, Kay, do you think you might be doing another Zoom? Because this is just, I'm a big Zoom person, so I would love to attend one of your Zoom cosplay comedy shows.
Oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to do cosplay comedy on Zoom, but I have a weekly Zoom show called Crazy Funny Asians every Friday at 8 p.m.
I never get booked for that, by the way. I never get booked for that.
I attended one once.
Did you forget
just
about
a yellow
me?
face.
It's so annoying that I don't get booked for it. It could be and one white girl. It would be so awesome, but you won't do
Let's
it.
have a token.
I'm pretty.
I know. Can you just have a token white friend?
I'm pretty loose with my definition of Asian, so if you can like pull up your ancestry.com and be like,
no, I'm not. I'm like Irish, English, a little bit of French, and then a bunch of like Euro trash. That's all I am. Just hard Euro trash, and that's fine. I'm fine with that, but it's just I don't get booked on crazy funny Asians, which is fine. Whatever, it's fine. I'm just gonna. If I ever did a crazy white people show, I could have everybody in the world, a crazy hoodied white person.
Hey, then all our awesome ethnic friends could do it in whiteface.
Oh God, that sounds like a nightmare. I'm gonna get canceled so fast.
Revenge.
I will tell you this. Ivy and Chelsea and I did a great show one time up in Fort Bragg, and when everything opens back up, Grimes actually told me he will finance us a tour to LA and then up north, and we're going to call it C-slap, which stands for clit slap. Instead of dick slap, it's going to be clit slap, C-slap, and it's going to be you, me, and Chelsea, and it's going to be the dopest fucking tour ever. I'm sorry, Kay, you're not a woman, so you're not invited.
Amazing.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Like I was on clit slap. It's Ivy. Oh,
you want to be on clit slap? You want to get clit slap, baby?
I'll bring the hot Cheetos, prosciuttos, and cream cheese.
Let's do. Oh my God, we got so drunk.
But then you can never find the venue.
Best time.
Okay. All right.
Hey guys, any last words, Kay? Anything you want to just say out there, put out there, say out there?
No, I'll pass it to Ivy.
Follow me
I'll speak for both of
Instagram.
us.
Hold on. I mean, I'm putting in my, I guess I'll type this afterwards. I'm on Instagram. You guys see my name right there. It's just my fucking name. And then make sure to follow my monthly Zoom show on Instagram as well. Playlist Comedy. That's like a joint.
Yeah.
Like a show
why am I not on that, bitch?
That's a good question. I know. You know what? We've only had like 5 or 6 shows. So if you're my homie, you will get on the fucking show. Just remind me. We were gonna do twice. Joseph Annalyn and I were gonna do twice monthly, but like it's less maintenance to do just the one show. So absolutely, like I'll be hitting both of you guys up actually, because we've got way more coming in the summer, which is cool because I feel like the shows just keep getting better and better. So
yeah,
you guys on.
Yay. I want to thank Jason and Deneen. Thank you so much for I didn't even put up my Venmo, which by the way, Chelsea gave me a new, she actually made me a new Venmo sign because she thought my last one was so shitty. And so
Jason and I have you on speed dial, baby.
Thank you guys so much for contributing. We really appreciate it. I want to say thank you guys so much for being on the show. Thank you. K Cheng, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate you. You're awesome. And Aivy Cordova. She's all over the place. I am Eerie Diamond. Thank you so much. And we really appreciate it. Bye, you guys. Have a great night. Happy Easter.